Hello beer tubers and welcome to another beer review with me, Peter, the master of hobbits. Today checking out another beer that we got from Beer Dome, our generous sponsor who's been sponsoring the channel for quite a while now. This is one that they got on the web shop that I probably wouldn't have purchased usually, but I did so just because I saw so many people talking about it and it just looks nuts. So I decided let's just do it and most likely not love it as much as a lot of people have, but it's just gotten a lot of traction, and it seems like this is one of the beers that kind of put this brewery on the map. They already did a lot of famous triple IPAs and whatnot in the UK, but this is from Staggeringly Good Beer, the Dinosaur Brewery. 2 years ago, I got to try a can of their Velociraptor. It was quite alright. It was nothing special, but they've really dialed in apparently beers and stuff since then. They've made some very highly rated triple IPAs and double IPAs and whatnot, but the big thing that started to become well known for, what I've seen people talk about online really, is their Souropod. A new series they've done, or a series they have of fruited sours, Kettle sour styles, and they've decided to go the kind of veil route and do like these crazy super fruited Kettle sours. And this is the first one they've done in the super fruited series. They just released a new one as well. I might go pick that up and we'll see, because just to try it. It depends on what I think of this. This looks stupid, but this is their Souropod Imperial Triple Fruited Gose on 7.3%. This version is with blackcurrants, raspberries, ginger, and blackberries. But it's a Gose, and they actually put in coriander and sea salt, which is pretty cool. That's, what you kind of need in there to call it a Gose. A lot of breweries that do these, they kind of throw that term around. And maybe it has a little bit of sea salt. You never really taste it. It just tastes like crazy super fruited beer. It tastes more like smoothie than beer. And I've been not too keen on these kind of beers as of late, but I just really thought I should give it a go just to see. So yeah, 7.3%, possibly stronger because these ferment in the can most likely. They give this an expiration date until next year. This was canned in August, but the thing is, I could feel this can was crazy hard. Beers like this you need to keep ice cold in the fridge at all time and drink as soon as possible because all that fruit sugar, it's possibly going to ferment at some point. Either from lactic bacteria if they're still alive, or yeast if they're still alive. So you hear a lot of time people go into their cabinets in the UK. I've seen posts on various forums online. These cans or beers like this standing in their cabinets and they just explode. I've had it happen to myself actually, but usually stuff like this you need to keep cold. But there we go, Souropod, the first super fruited one they've done. This looks silly. This does look exactly like a fruit smoothie. It doesn't look like a beer in any way, shape, or form. It's got just leftover fruit puree gunks or whatever that is on the sides of the glass. Like when the head foamed up, kind of subsided a bit, and then it just left that weird ass lace. I can swirl the glass so it disappears a bit, but it poured out really thick too. So I guess they put a lot, like a shit ton of fruit purees or just whatever fruit additions they do in a batch like this. So yeah, the dark berry variant here. Let's check out the aroma. It smells it smells like a smoothie. It really does. I forgot to say the color, but it's just like it looks like a dark berry smoothie. It's like just a really dark red with a pinkish head, but it does smell, I don't know if I want to say a little bit like a Gose, just because it has that lactic sourness. It doesn't smell like it's as sweet, and there is definitely a coriander vibe. So I think it smells a bit more authentic, if you could call this authentic in any way, shape, or form, because the classic Gose isn't fruited, but it smells more authentic than a lot of other examples to this I've had. But it's crazy fruit, loads on rush, especially raspberry to me. And also blackberry. Maybe not tons of blackcurrant. There is the spicy fruitiness of ginger underneath too. Yeah, but it smells like a lactically sour fruit smoothie. Let's try it. Cheers and thanks to Beardo for the beer. This is like you mixed smoothie and beer. It is so thick. It's really got the consistency of a fruit smoothie. I think this style should just be renamed smoothie sour or something like that. Because it's quite far from a Gose. But what I do like about this is actually it is sour. It's like a Kettle sour. It has a lot of like lactic yogurty sourness. It's not sweet. Because a lot of these as well, they have sugars or they have maple syrup or they have lactose or whatever. This actually, it is sour. But yeah, the consistency is like super thick. It's like a carbonated, like a carbonated smoothie that you mixed in some sour beer. And it's not overtly crazy sour. I don't think it's too sour. It's got a nice medium sourness, which is good. Because sometimes these are like crazy sour, especially when they get a bit of age on them. If they stand around. But this is just a bit silly in my mind. To be honest, with stuff like this, I'd rather just drink a smoothie without the alcohol. Or, if I want a beer that is sour in profile, I want more complexity. Because this is very one note. Because it's just lactic sourness and fruit flavor. That's why I prefer wild ales or lambics, if we're talking in the world of sour beers or farmhouse ales or whatever. They have so much more complexity to them than this. I don't think it's a bad product. It's tasty. It tastes nice. But it's just not a preference thing. And it's not something I would probably go out and buy. I think they can be fun to check out once in a while. Same with the J-Ream kind of series I did from Burley Oak, but it's not like where I'm sitting, wow, this is crazy nuts, and I think a lot of people do that, but it's literally just puring up those berries, like dark berries with a bit of ginger, and then pouring in a Gose, and then maybe top it up with some fresh Gose to give them carbonation. That's literally what it's like. It's just it tastes like a dark berry fruit smoothie with a hint of ginger, and then I don't know about salinity. I'm not getting too much of that in the flavor, but the ginger's definitely there, and maybe just the lightest hint of coriander. So I will appreciate that it does have a little, note of authenticity in that sense. But this is if we were a few beers in, this would be a ranting beer. It's why do brewers have to do this shit nowadays? But it's all fun, and I don't mind it too much, but it's not something, I want to seek out again. In terms of grading, I think a lot of people is probably giving it a lot higher than I will, but I'll still say I said 88. It's got some nice flavor. It's got, all that fruit you want from this kind of beer. So it definitely merits that, for what it is. But, if I had to grade according to something we'd call a smoothie sour or super fruited sour, this would be much higher. But since I've always graded on terms of personal preference, I keep those things in mind. But since it's personal preference, I can't go that high because I do not like this too much. I'd much rather drink this worse beer I had earlier, to be honest. But, yeah, 88 I think, 87 is a good grade for this. But, if you love these kind of beers, you're going to go at least 92, 93, maybe 94. This is probably for a lot of people 425, maybe even more on Untappd. For me, it's 375. I can appreciate it, but I don't think it's wow, amazing because it just tastes like a fruit smoothie. It had to be nice and funky for me to go nuts. So, yeah, and maybe aged note barrels or whatever. As I said, the kind of sour type beers I enjoy. So if you guys had a chance to try there was the Salinity, by the way. The Staggeringly good Souropod Imperial triple fruited Gose with raspberry, blackberries, blackcurrant, ginger, coriander seeds, salt, hops, yeast, all that stuff. But the dark berry variant, let me know what you thought of it. Thanks a ton to Brewery for this one. You guys rule. They've gotten a few of these, so if you're internationally based, you can't get Staggeringly good, or based in Europe, keep an eye on Beardo. I'm pretty sure they'll get the new one too, because they've gotten a lot of their releases so far. And as always, remember to comment, subscribe, check out the Facebook fan page, Twitter, and Instagram. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Ring the bell for future notifications about videos. And I'm going to say cheers in smoothie beer. And see you guys in another beer review.